My friends, how are you? It is absolutely fantastic to see you for yet another video, but unfortunately, we still live in Donald Trump's America, so it's all bad news. I'm afraid I don't have good news for you today. As you guys know, I have been heavily focused on the American economy lately and what Donald Trump is doing to the American people, the business owners, the employees, everyone out here, as Donald Trump has continued to show that he is nothing but destructive to the American people. And the reason I've been doing that is because I am part of the working class of America, my friends, and it matters greatly to me when Donald Trump starts trying to destroy my livelihood and everybody else's livelihood that goes out there and works every day for a living. That bothers me, and I shouldn't be alone in that, but a lot of times when we're dealing with working class America, I can't help but feel somewhat alone in that, because there is a lot of opposition as the MAGA dorks come out and cheer for their own demise, cheer for the damage that Donald Trump is causing, and offer nothing but false statements, lies, and hope about things that are never going to happen in our future. So yeah, we got a little bit to talk about today, because I have been diving down that rabbit hole some more all day, at least for the last day, because as we know, the job numbers recently came out. Of course, I've talked about the destruction that's caused to the truck drivers, which is true, that has happened. I've talked about the destruction that's caused to the farmers because of Donald Trump's trade wars, but I want to look at this just sort of overall today, all the absolute damage that Donald Trump is causing. So yeah, those job numbers came out and those were not good at all. I am still absolutely shocked that they didn't completely lie to us about what was going on. And I hear you guys in the comments when you say they might have lied to us anyways. There could have been huge job losses last month, but they just said, hey, the United States gained 22,000 jobs as a way to, I don't know, kind of make themselves look better. I expected full-on propaganda this month. I expected 7 trillion jobs created. I expected the average median income in America to be $17 billion, and we're all doing so well, all brought to you by Donald Trump, the Donald Trump regime, and Fox News telling us all this bullshit that ain't actually going on. That's what I expected to happen. But they came out with this jobs report of 22,000 jobs created in America. And the parts I've gone over is, of course, in the transportation sector, there were 17,000 jobs lost under Donald Trump's failed leadership. In manufacturing, there were 12,000 jobs lost under Donald Trump's failed leadership, which is absolutely shocking to me, because Donald Trump, the enablers that surround Donald Trump, Fox News, and the MAGA dorks all told us that because of tariffs, manufacturing was coming back to America. I don't know if they don't know what coming back means, but 12,000 leaving is the wrong fucking way, my friends. It's not working out now, is it? And that's a lot of the shit that I want to talk about today, because this is really, really bad, the harm that Donald Trump is causing to working class Americans, my friends. It is really bad. One of the statistics that I heard that we all should be paying attention to, and I heard it from multiple sources as I was making my rounds around the internet, is apparently there are more people unemployed now, out of work, you know, without jobs. You guys know what unemployed means. You guys know what it means. I didn't need to over-explain unemployed to you. But more people unemployed than there are available job openings in America right now. And obviously, all of this is due to Donald Trump's failed economic policy. It's so weird to think about. I'm not going to give you a full history lesson, but we watched Donald Trump crash the fucking economy in his first term. We watched before that Donald Trump go bankrupt multiple times before all that. And then somehow, so much of the American people said, I'm voting for Donald Trump because he's good for the economy. What the fuck are we talking about? Donald Trump has never been good for the economy. Donald Trump has honestly been good for nothing his entire fucking life. He's a freeloading, spoiled rich kid that takes advantage of poor people. That's what he's always done, and that's what he'll always do. Don't believe me? Donald Trump scammed his own base with a fucking meme coin 2 days before taking office. So now we're in this situation situation where there are not even enough job openings right now to deal with the unemployment rate in America because of Donald Trump's failed economic policy. You see how it always just seems to come back to that, right? It always comes back to that. Because we were told by Donald Trump that he was going to put tariffs on fucking everything, and a bunch of hillbillies stood up and cheered and said, hell yeah, Donald Trump's gonna tariff those motherfuckers. You guys know what the most searched Google term was? Most Google search term was the day after the fucking election? What is a tariff? Yeah, Americans didn't bother to find out what a tariff was until the day after they went out and they voted for Donald Trump. And then they learned what a tariff is. Now we're really learning what a tariff is, aren't we? We're really learning what a tariff is as the farmers are going bankrupt and the truckers are losing jobs and all that shit. Yeah, we're getting a crash course in tariffs now, my friends. But, you know, with the Trump administration, they are always full of excuses. They are always completely full of shit. It's the party of absolutely zero personal accountability. The party of blame Joe Biden. The party of, God, they're blaming Pete Buttigieg for some shit. I mean, who will they not blame for all of their shortcomings? It's just absolutely shocking, isn't it, that they take no responsibility for anything whatsoever. But as they continue to blame everyone else for all the problems that they are creating, there is absolutely nothing getting solved in America. So Donald Trump was confronted, my friends, not confronted, but asked the question. Look, you said on day one you knew what it took to fix fucking everything. You were going to lower the price of eggs. You were going to lower the price of, what's that word? God, it's a very old word and no one uses it anymore. Groceries. I'm sorry. It's probably a word your great-grandparents said. We haven't used that one in a long time now, have we? But he was going to lower the price of groceries on day one. He was going to lower inflation on day one. He was going to stop the war in Ukraine on day one. And then the son of a bitch just keeps kicking the can down the fucking road, right? As he causes all this fucking destruction with the bullshit that he's doing, he'll say, well, in 2 weeks. And when Donald Trump says 2 weeks, that means I'm not doing shit about that. I hope by the time 2 weeks comes around, you have forgotten. So he was asked about these terrible job numbers. What's going on with these job numbers? It was before they came out, I think. Are you going to accept that these are the real job numbers is basically what he was asked. And he said, we're not looking at the job numbers now. What we need to look at is 6 months to a year from now when they build the Palace of Genius. My friends, what in the fuck is a palace of genius? In my whole fucking life, I have never heard anybody say this. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Donald Trump is now telling the American people that all the shit that he could fix on day one. Now, it flip-flops a lot, okay? So let me interrupt myself for just a minute, because I can fix this all on day one. Comes into office, starts fucking everything up. Then him and Elon Musk come up with this talking point about how everything needs to get worse before it gets better. And things are going to get very hard for the American people. But wait a minute, you son of a bitch. You just said not that long ago that you can fix this all on day one. But now that he's caused all these Americans to lose their jobs, now that he's caused the prices of everything to go up substantially, to where people are having trouble affording, it's an old word. What the fuck is it? Groceries. It's such an old word that I have trouble remembering that one. Groceries, my friends. This fucking asshole makes my blood boil, my friends. Anyways, what was I trying to fucking say? So now he's finding that the results of his actions are Americans losing jobs, the employment rate falling, the unemployment rate going up, the jobs created on a monthly basis, depending on the month, we're having negative job growth, right? And then, so his answer to that, my God, my friends, we're going to revisit it again. His answer to that is in 6 months to a year, when they build the Palace of Genius, we will see the jobs. This is like some Field of Dreams shit, man. If you build it, they will come type of shit. What is he fucking talking about? What is the Palace of Genius? I'm tired of being dicked around by this guy while he makes up a bunch of bullshit. What is the fucking Palace of Genius? I don't fucking get it. I am absolutely shocked by this behavior. Like, what are we talking about? I don't get it. Anyways, I wouldn't be surprised if next month, the coming months, obviously we're going to see job losses. That's 100% what's coming. When you have isolated the country, when you've cut off all of our trade partners, when you've taken the markets away from farmers, when you've increase the prices on Americans so that they're having to pick and choose more when they go to the grocery store, thereby reducing the demand for freight in America, therefore resulting in 17,000 jobs lost in 1 month in the transportation sector. That's you can't fix this, is the point I'm trying to make. And I sometimes almost say the only way to fix it is to remove the tariffs, but that's not true, because the relationships are all fucking destroyed at this point. All the relationships with other countries are destroyed. We are effectively isolated in this country, and we will start to see more and more and more job loss as this whole thing fucking goes on. And I cannot believe that this is where we're at. But most importantly, my friends, one of the hardest things I'm having trouble wrapping my fucking head around, we know that Donald Trump is a con artist. We 100% know that, right? We know that what Donald Trump wants is your fucking money. We're aware of that, aren't we? We are aware that the elected Republicans that swore an oath to the Constitution, that ran on their campaigns talking about how they were going to protect and enrich the American people. I don't imagine a Republican stood up there and said, I'm going to help Donald Trump rob you blind, and then won an election. But maybe stranger things have fucking happened. But all these elected Republicans are bowing down to Donald Trump and allowing for his destruction to happen, with a few exceptions here and there. It's not strong enough, right? But the most shocking part about all of it, my friends, is the working class Americans just like me and you. The ones that get up every day, try to balance our own personal budget, try to figure out, well, if I stretch this bill out to 3 days, I can pay it before I get a late fee, and then I won't get an overdraft fee on my bank account, and all this bullshit. You know, the budget we gotta fucking balance, right? These people, there are so many Americans that are cheering on Donald Trump, that are saying that this is better, everything is better, all while it's getting fucking worse, all at the same time. I cannot believe that there are Americans out there cheering on their financial downfall at the hands of Donald Trump and saying to us that everything is getting better. The numbers are there. The numbers are there. I cannot believe that they're doing that. And so on that note, I kind of want to talk about a couple things. And I obviously always ruffle the feathers of the MAGA movement. You know, my friends, I got out of line, right? As a fucking, I'm a half redneck. I'm only half redneck. Other half Italian, all right? I'm half redneck, half Italian. But as a half redneck, I am expected to fall in line at all times. Vote Republican, repeat Fox News talking points, be a mindless fucking drone to the machine, and just do what the fuck I'm told and hand over my paycheck and get up and do that shit over again. So because I have gotten out of line, I obviously very, very much annoy the people that weren't brave enough to step out of line with me, my friends. See, those people, they get real fucking grumpy at me. And obviously I do take time to read the comments, and I know you guys sometimes get on my ass and say, I ran out of breath while I was saying that, get on my ass and say, Josh, don't read your comments, don't do that. But I think it's important, because I want to know what it is that makes these people tick. Like, what is it that's going on in their heads that makes them actually believe the bullshit that is coming out of their fucking mouths, right? So, you know, one of my recent pretty big videos was the video talking about the truck drivers that are losing their jobs due to Donald Trump. And the way I told that was I brought the numbers, right? Now, I had a couple videos leading up to it where I was saying, hey guys, here's the things I'm noticing that appear to be bad signs to me as a person that has been a truck driver for over a decade. There's some peculiar things going on over here. And I was hoping I was wrong, but I was also hoping I was right, because like my credibility matters, but also my job matters, right? I don't know if I wanted to be right or wrong about that. I wasn't really sure. Then the numbers come out. Transportation sector gets absolutely fucking smashed by Donald Trump, right? Gets fucking destroyed. And of course, me pointing that out caused a fucking frenzy of lunatic red hat MAGA truck drivers to go on the warpath, my friends. The rampage. They lost their ever-loving fucking minds because I bothered to tell the truth about the numbers, okay? And don't worry, my friends, I'm gonna be okay. There's a reason I'm telling you all this, because we need to fucking speak back. We need to speak out on these things and tell them the shit they're saying isn't fucking real. They're making the whole fucking thing up. And I know these MAGA truckers, my friends. I know. There was calls in my own comment section to figure out where the fuck I work so they can call my company and tell them all about all the evil things I'm doing on the internet, my friends. But don't worry, my company knows about my videos. They like me for the most part. I wouldn't say they agree with me politically, but every time I go into the terminal, they're really nice to me. Hey Josh, how are your videos doing? I saw your channel's really growing. Good job. I even had last time I was there, a person say, why the fuck are you still driving that truck? Can't you just do YouTube full time? And I said, I'm going down with the ship, god damn it. I'm going to sit here on the fucking front lines so I can accurately tell the world what is going on out here. And even if I go under because of it, then I'll take my ass home and I'll sit there and make fucking videos. But until then, I'm staying on the front lines with my working class brothers and sisters, my friends. That's what the fuck I'm doing. And he looked at me like I was crazy. He said, if I had that many subscribers, I'd just go home. That's what he told me. I said, yeah, you're probably fucking right, but we got work to do out here. And the reason I bring all that up, because yeah, the MAGA dork truck drivers are in a frenzy right now. They are on the attack. They want to know where I work. They want me drug tested, my friends. They think I'm on drugs because I have energy, I guess. I don't know. They always pick meth for some reason. They say I'm on meth. I don't know fucking why. But they want me drug tested immediately, and they want me fired from my job and banned from ever driving a truck again, and my CDL taken from me, and they want to know where I live, and they want to know my relationship status, and they want to know all these things about me, all because I dared my friends to tell the truth about what is happening. And a lot of people out there don't like the truth, my friends. They fucking hate being told the truth of what is going on. But I heard from a lot of these angry truckers that are happy to cancel me, want to know how they can destroy my YouTube channel, how they can get me fired from my job, how they can get my CDL taken, how they can cause me to default on my fucking mortgage, all because they didn't like that I had a different political opinion from them on the internet, my friends. I heard from a lot of them. And this is the delusional shit that we're up against, all right? One of the most common things that I've heard over the last few days is, even after I gave the number, 17,000 jobs lost in 1 month in transportation, even after I gave those numbers, people come back to me and say, this is a lie because I'm doing just fine. And this is how the MAGA movement thinks, my friends. They believe that if they personally are doing fine, that represents the overall economy in America. As a matter of fact, I was told that I was lying because I'm still employed. Therefore, none of this ever happened. I was just not one of the 17,000 people that lost their job due to Donald Trump's failed economic policies last year. These videos aren't about me. These videos are bigger than me. These videos are the destruction caused by Donald Trump and the bootlicking Republicans that allow him to continue to do what he's doing. These videos are me out here fighting for my working class brothers that are fighting against them fucking selves, the ones that are cheering for their own destruction, and I'm going, no, stop doing that to yourself. Let me help you. Let me help you, my friends. That was quite a tangent there, wasn't it? But it's crazy to think about, because that's the way that people understand things in America, is like you can put the data in front of them, 17,000 jobs lost, and they go, not true, I still have a job. And it's that very selfish mindset of the MAGA movement that nothing matters outside of them. And then we get the same fuck around find out videos all over the internet about how now this motherfucker over here is crying because they lost their job because Donald Trump fucked them over, but they voted for Donald Trump because they were okay with someone else getting fucked over, right? There was a point to that, and I'm trying to remember what the fuck it is. I'm trying to remember what it is. Oh, when it comes to the trucking thing, another one of the big arguments that I'm hearing to what I'm saying, the 17,000 people that lost their job just last month in the transportation industry, and everything that entails, of course, I understand that. But to that, they say this isn't true because I'm busy as fuck. Yeah, that's how it works. Check this out. So you work at a company, right? And they have 30 employees. Let's say, hypothetically, small business, 30 employees. The company comes in and they says, hey, we got to let 5 of you go. Let's say 5 of you go. And that leaves 25 people working there. The 25 people working there all go, okay, I'm safe. But they can't very well say there's nothing wrong here, right? The 5 people just got let go. Well, the 25 people that are still working there are going to be expected to carry the workload of the 5 people that were just let go, right? And so they're all going to be just a little bit more busy. I'm working my ass off out here. I am working my ass off out here. I haven't had a day off in like 2 months straight. I'm running that 70-hour clock like the fucking genius I am, the master of that clock that I am, my friends. And I haven't had a day off in 2 months. I've been running fucking nonstop. But that does not excuse the fact that Donald Trump's failed economic policies have cost 17,000 people in the transportation sector of the United States economy to lose their jobs. We're all going to carry that weight, right? We're all going to carry on the burden of the truckers that don't no longer work with us anymore. We're all going to be expected to take on just a little bit more work to cover all of that, right? Of course, the freight's dropping. That's true too. Us being busy because we're still truckers right now is not an indication of an overall healthy economy. And that's what I wish a lot of truckers would listen to me when I say. I don't say all this shit about Donald Trump necessarily because I'm trying to stir up shit. Sometimes, sometimes that's the fucking reason. The reason I say all this shit about Donald Trump is because I watched working class America sell out their own livelihoods and their futures to a fucking con artist, and they fell for it. And we are watching that destruction happen right now. Okay, Donald Trump is a piece of shit. I don't like Donald Trump. Donald Trump's a fucking asshole. Donald Trump is a nightmare to the American people. But I don't say all that because just out of like petty spite for Donald Trump. I say everything that I say because there's an actual track record. We can watch every destructive thing that he's doing. And for us as Americans to sit here and say, no, everything's fine because I'm fine, is a very short-sighted view of understanding how all of this fucking works. And that's the shit that pisses me off, my friends. We need to start fucking paying attention to what's going on. We need to start giving a damn about our neighbors and our brothers and our sisters and our family members and everyone because we don't... How do we just treat people like shit like that and just say, well, it's not a problem that happened to you because it didn't happen to me, because here pretty soon it's also going to be you, because I can promise you, my friends, a lot of these Trump humping truck drivers out here that are furious at me right now, I will still be on the road while they lost their job, while they found themselves in a spot where they're unable to provide for their family. I will still be out here and I will be carrying on the weight of them leaving the road at that point. Little by little, I will take on more and more work where they're going to spread the truckers real thin, is what I'm trying to say. And for me to sit here while you, even though you're a Trump humping trucker, I don't know why you are, for me to sit here and celebrate your family going hungry, you not able to pay your mortgage, you scrambling to find a job, you descending into alcoholism to deal with all the things you're going through, for me to sit here and spit in your face and say it's not fucking real because it didn't happen to me is bullshit. You guys are selling out the country to one man. I can't believe it. It's absolutely insane. Anyways, I ran out of steam. I gotta get back to work. Love you guys. Bye now.